So today I'm doing a little bit of a different video. We're not going to be talking about perfumes in this video. We're going to be doing makeup. I'm going to show you guys kind of my everyday makeup routine. I do this because I change my makeup every single day. So technically I don't have an everyday makeup routine, but this is kind of the makeup I do most often. I really gravitate towards earth tones and working with my features instead of against them. I love a really ethereal, kind of maybe old-fashioned look. That's my favorite thing in the world. So this is what I'm going to show you today. And we're also going to talk about some personal stuff in this video, talk about the direction of my channel. I'm going to answer some questions and all that good stuff. So let's get into it. Jump cut, I know, scary. I've been using this lash serum and it has what is that ingredient? Prostaglandin, I think it's called, and it really irritates the crap out of my eyes. But at the same time, I just had eyelash extensions and I took them out, and I have about 2 eyelashes on my eyes right now because essentially I kind of just ripped them out of my eyes. Don't recommend doing that, but anyways, we're gonna get started. All right, I have all my makeup here. And I'm gonna kind of do, I don't know what I would call my everyday makeup because my everyday makeup changes every day. I just do something different every day, but I feel like this is the look that I do most often. I love earth tones, really romantic, soft, ethereal looks, that kind of thing. I haven't done a makeup video in a really long time, 2 or 3 years, I think. I did one, like a Q&A one a while ago, but I haven't done one in a while, so I feel like I kind of don't know how to do these. If you didn't know, fun fact, I started off this channel as a makeup channel because that was kind of always my passion. I love makeup, and those first few videos, I don't know, they didn't really do that well, so I was like, you know what, let me experiment. And at that time was when perfumes kind of skyrocketed and perfume videos were huge and people just got really into perfumes, and I loved perfumes, so I was like, let me make a perfume video. And that video did super well on my channel, so kind of from that point on I switched over to perfumes, and that's obviously where we are almost five years later, which is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna start off with foundation. My favorite foundation is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, so I'm gonna use that. I should have brought my mirror over because I can't really do this. Actually, I have a palette here, so I'll just use this. This foundation is a little too light for me, even now that it's winter. I always end up accidentally buying this in a shade too light, but I don't really mind it because once you put on bronzers and all of that, it's fine. Also, sometimes this foundation doesn't always work well with the beauty blender. I find sometimes that it works better with a brush. Some work better with brushes, some work better with sponges. I feel like this one kind of works better with the brush, so let me get that. So in this video, I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about my channel, about kind of the direction of my channel, about, you know, possibly switching things up. I'm not going to. I know a lot of you that follow, actually pretty much all of you that follow me probably only follow me for my perfume content, and I see that because as much as I love makeup videos and fashion and I would love to bring more variety on here, every time I try to do these types of videos, they just don't get the same traction as my perfume videos, which I get because I've made the niche of my channel perfumes, and the algorithm doesn't really like it when you switch that up, which is kind of annoying because essentially you get kind of put in a box. And I mean, I did that to myself by obviously only filming this content, but I don't know, sometimes I'm in like this dilemma because there's so many things I love and I would love to share with you guys and make videos on them. I just dropped about 5 brushes. And some people will be like, well, you should do videos on what you love. And yeah, I should, but at the same time, let's be real, this is my job. This is how I make a living. So if I'm putting all this work into a video, I'm editing it for 4 or 5 hours, and then it gets like no views, then essentially I just wasted my time, and time is the most valuable thing that you have and it does not come back. So I want to be smart with how I use my time. So that's why I kind of also wanted to make this video, because I wanted to kind of ask you guys, do you guys think that perfume content is kind of done with? I don't know, I feel like that's harsh, but I just don't see that much traction anymore with perfumes like how it was before, and that makes me want to switch things up. Not saying that I would completely remove my perfume content, because I wouldn't. I would still have that, but I would love a little sprinkle here and there of makeup videos or fashion videos, or I don't know. I have so many different hobbies and things I love. I love art, I love creating, I love painting, I love sculpting, I love drawing. Like, I have so many things I want to do. I've also thought about vlogging, and I get so many requests about vlogging, but like, I have a really boring life, and that's not a bad thing. I love my life, but I'm not doing anything exciting. I'm kind of just like romanticizing my life. I'm a huge homebody, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So I feel like vlogging would be kind of pointless for me because it would just be boring content. Like, what? Just me living my life in my house and working and doing hobbies. I'm using this Maybelline concealer. I've used this concealer for years, since I was in high school. The Instant Age Rewind Eraser in the Neutralizer shade. I love this concealer. I've tried so many concealers and I love that one. I'm just kind of like stuck right now in a sense, because sometimes I feel like perfume content is so oversaturated and overdone. And also, I also have this other dilemma about consumption and overconsumption, and I've been so much more aware of my consumption than I ever was. I used to be such an overconsumer, and I don't like that. It's such a fine line when you make videos like these, because obviously this is my job, so like I have to buy things and perfumes and, you know, keep up with all the new stuff. But then if I wasn't making videos, I would not be doing that. I feel like I would still have a decent perfume collection because I love them, but definitely not to the extent that it's at now, especially what it used to be. I used to have like 300 perfumes. I'm at like 100 now, and I'm happy with that, but I would still want a even lower collections. Why I do declutters all the time, and people are like, oh, you declutter every perfume that you say that you love, and it's like, girl, I can't keep 500 perfumes. I've liked like almost every perfume almost that I've tried. Doesn't mean I'm gonna keep it. And just because I may have recommended it to you and told you that it's amazing, then you see me later on decluttering it, it's not because I don't like it. It's because I want to really cater my collection to all the things that I'm absolutely obsessed with. Doesn't mean I don't like these other things. I just want to kind of condense things in my life. And now more than ever, I've been just not wanting to buy so much stuff. But then it's hard to not do that when it's your job to buy stuff, because you got to keep up with everything. I'm gonna use this. I have not used this in so long, but another part of this year that I'm trying to do is use up my stuff instead of just letting it sit there. And I've had this for years. Is it expired? Yeah, but I'm still using it, and it's like pretty much full. This is a really annoying product because it comes in like a spice bottle, and it's really annoying to take out. Like, sometimes I'll have this in my room and I'll have it on my desk, just like white powder on my desk, and it looks a little suspicious. But I've been using it recently and I love it. It literally gives you airbrushed under eyes, and it doesn't look cakey or anything. As you can see, I've been blending for like a million hours. I'm very strict on my blending, okay? You gotta really blend, especially under your eyes, because it can crease, and you don't want that. I just realized I forgot to do my eyebrows. So now that my under eyes are set, I'm gonna move on to my eyebrows before I do anything else. I got my eyebrows microbladed over the summer. I did them in Albania, and I'm really happy with them because I, let's just say, had gotten a little overboard with plucking. I wanted to thin out my eyebrows, but I just don't think I have the face for super thin eyebrows. So I got them microbladed, and I really like them. She shaped them exactly to like my face shape, and I am in love with them. And now they're so easy to do because they're kind of already done. It just sort of touch up some points. It literally takes me not even a minute to do both of my eyebrows now. Obviously not now that I'm like talking to you guys because I'm like pausing and stuff, but it's so easy now and I love it. I have the window open because the weather has been so nice, and I love hearing all the little nature sounds and the birds. Eyebrows are done just like that. Actually, I forgot. I do one more thing to my eyebrows other than the pencil. This is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I'll have everything linked, by the way, all the products that I'm using. But on top of that, I use the Glossier Brow Flick, and I use that kind of in the front to to draw some hair-like strokes. And I always feel like that's a nice finishing touch. Okay, and then the last thing I'm gonna do to my eyebrows is a little brow gel. I use this Essence Make Me Brow. It's a brown eyebrow gel. Alright, now I'm gonna move on to my eyeshadow before I do my face. I like to do my eyeshadow before I do my face just because I like having my eyes done so then I can see how much I need on the face, because sometimes when you go to do your face makeup and then do your eye makeup last, you can go a little overboard on the face makeup without actually seeing the boldness of your eyes, if that makes sense. My favorite palette at the moment, like I said, I love earth tones. I've been loving this Embers palette from Anastasia. It just has beautiful earth tones. And I also love this palette, the MAC Connecting Color eyeshadow palette. I don't know. I'm gonna link everything like I said. I'm gonna go in with this beautiful, it's like a muted mustard color. I love it. It's so earthy and delicious. It looks like caramel. And I'm gonna take that all over my lid. And that just gives some warmth to the eye. This makeup may not turn out amazing just because I'm filming it. Every time I try to film my makeup, it just doesn't work. Oh, it's so beautiful outside. It's like super bright, but it's stunning outside. I know you guys up north have been having snowstorms, but we over here in Florida have been having the most amazing weather. It's a rare occurrence where you can actually leave your window open in Florida without having a heat stroke. And so I'm loving this right now. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. It's like a shimmery bronze. And I'm gonna put that in the outer corner. I'm gonna pull up some questions. I put up a community tab post a little while ago on my channel and asked you guys to leave me questions. And I'm gonna pull them up right now and just answer some of those questions. All in all, as far as like my channel, please let me know in the comments. Are you still watching perfume content? Would you want me to add more variation in my content? If so, what? I would love if you guys could help me out with that because I'm kind of just sort of stuck in a sense at the moment. The heck was that? Okay, I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia shade and this color right here. Look how pretty that freaking color is. I'm gonna take that all over the lid. This is a gorgeous bronzy color. And I feel like these colors really make brown eyes pop, especially if you have a little green in them. This first question is, do you regret getting rid of some perfumes now that you're not moving? The answer to that is what I was saying earlier. Absolutely not. Even if I didn't move, I'd probably still have decluttered all those perfumes just because, like I said, I don't want to just have a million things just sitting around. As much as I love I love a lot of things, doesn't mean I'm gonna just hoard stuff, which I was doing, don't get me wrong. And I thought that that was okay because I had a YouTube channel, and not saying that I don't have a lot of stuff now because I definitely do, but I don't want to do that anymore and I definitely don't regret it. I'm going in with this Rare Beauty liquid liner and gonna do my eyeliner, and I'm not gonna talk for this part because yeah, literally have to like hold my breath to do that. I only go to like right about here, kind of where my pupil is, because I have more round eyes. I don't know how to explain the shape of my eyes. They're like round almond, and if I stop right there, it kind of just elongates them a little bit. They're definitely not perfect and definitely not twins. I have my hair all in this curly updo. I've been watching Outlander. It is my favorite show in the entire universe, and I was inspired by Claire to do this updo. So if you know, you know. I'm gonna go in with this brown shade and go over my liner and just kind of diffuse it. What changed your mind about living in Greece? So many things. I don't even know where to begin. And some things that were more kind of like personal that happened while we were there. Not bad things, well, not bad things towards us, but we kind of saw something happen and that really solidified that we didn't want to be there. And that doesn't change, by the way, the fact that I love Greece and that it still feels like my second home and always will be, because I have all of my best memories in Greece and Albania and my childhood, so that will never change. It's just living was different, And people told me that, obviously. People were like, oh, you're gonna regret it once you get there. Things are different, you know, when you go to vacation than when you're actually living. Obviously, I knew that. But I'm kind of one of those people where I don't care what you tell me. I'm gonna go do the thing, whatever it is, and experience it for myself. Whether it turns out good or bad, that's on me. And, you know, I will take people's advice and hear you out, but ultimately it's my life. I'm gonna do what I want, and if it doesn't end up well, it's, again, still my life. And it was a learning lesson for me that I will take with me, but I'm not gonna just listen to what somebody's telling me and just be like, okay, you know what, no. Because that was something that I wanted to do for my whole life. Pretty much since I moved to the States, I wanted to move back, and so did my husband. And for us, the whole move was such an eye-opening experience, and we are so grateful that we did that. We do not, it's the opposite of regret, if anything. We're actually super grateful that it worked out in the way that it did. I will share though something that happened there that was also like a big solidifying reason as to why we didn't want to stay there. So basically, this was after we had already said like, okay, yeah, we want to go back. The next day, something happened that really solidified that. We were on our way. We were in Greece. We were in a little island that my aunt lives in. And we were on our way to go out of the island. I think we were going to do blood work or something like that. And on our way there, we get flagged by this lady like in the middle of the street. And we go there. I guess the lady that was kind of flagging us down, she was staying there in an Airbnb. And this older woman that owned the house that was renting it out for Airbnb, she was on her porch, face down, with, I'm not sure if I could say this word, but blood, running down her porch. The lady that was flagging us down, that was staying in that Airbnb, she was obviously hysterical, obviously, and she thought that she was dead. And it was this like German lady, so she didn't know too much English, but she knew enough so that we could communicate. But essentially, we stopped the car. It was my husband and my aunt that ran over to this woman that was lying face down on her porch, obviously not doing well, and they found out she was breathing. Thankfully, I was shaking because I had never really seen anything like this happen. They obviously didn't want to touch her because when something like that happens, you don't want to touch the person. You just call 911 and they figure it out because you can end up actually hurting that person. Obviously, we call 911 or whatever it's over there, emergency. And guys, they put us on hold. There was music playing. Imagine you're calling 911 because a loved one or something, you know, something horrible happened. You're calling 911 to get, you know, it's emergency, you want super fast help. They were putting us on hold and there was just music playing in the background, like la la la. Meanwhile, this woman is face down with dripping down her porch. Just like literally incoherent. She couldn't really talk. We came to find out she had had a stroke. She was like doing work outside, and yeah, and it was so sad because she had a dog, and the dog ran over to me and he was so concerned. He would just stay by her side the whole time, and oh my god, that broke my heart. But I didn't tell you guys what I'm doing. Eyeliner in the tight line, black at the top. This is the L'Oreal pencil eyeliner, just in black. And then I used the NYX Under the Moonstone in my waterline down here. It's like a beautiful bronzy kind of color. I'm gonna curl my lashes now and put on mascara. And that's not gonna make much of a difference because like I said in the beginning, I ripped out like all my eyelashes. So they are essentially non-existent. And I'm hoping my lash serum starts to work here soon. So moving on with the story. Eventually, we were able to get a hold of emergency services. They come 1 hour later. 1 hour. We were just there with this woman and she was not doing okay. She was incoherent. 1 hour later, they finally come. And when they do come, when I think back to this, I'm still in so much anger at how this all played out. But these men, it was two men, they were concerned about the going all over their ambulance. Like they were like, oh, we need to like put something down. And also this man had a toothpick in his mouth. No sense of urgency at all. Like literally they were moving around like they were buying chips at the gas station. Just no urgency whatsoever. Finally, they get her up on the stretcher. They put her in the ambulance and that was it. I think the lady that was in the Airbnb, she tried to get a phone book to try to call the lady's, I think her daughter. And so they were able to get a hold of her. So then her daughter basically met her at the hospital. Unfortunately, we find out at nighttime, because this was like a distant neighbor of my aunt, where my aunt lives. Found out at nighttime that the old woman that this had happened to had passed away, and she had suffered a stroke. So later that night she had passed away. And in my head I'm like, had these people come not 1 hour, I think it might have even been more than an hour, had they come earlier, this lady could have been saved, basically. So that was kind of, that wasn't the deciding factor, obviously, but in my head I was just like, if something like this happened to my loved one, I don't know what I would do to those people that had no sense of urgency in this situation. And also at the fact that a life could have been saved, but just because they came an hour later, it wasn't. That was just, it was kind of like the cherry on top. And listen guys, right now, the state of this country is in shambles, and I hate what's going on here, and I don't even know if I can talk about it, but I hate everything that's going on, and it's horrible. And I'm not saying that this country is perfect by any means, but I will say in that department you can get help. And had that happened here, which crazily enough, that situation kind of just happened to a neighbor of ours literally like a week ago, and it was such a crazy like parallel that happened. I was outside and I see my neighbor. He is 105 years old, mind you. He's on his garage floor on the ground. So I run over to him. I get help from some other neighbors. We all call 911. They were there within 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And they were able to go and transport him to the hospital. And it was a bunch of them. They did EKGs, you know, all the stuff. Obviously, these are things that I knew. There's a lot of things that are, you know, older in countries like that. Things don't function the same as they do here. But in that regard, this country does have the upper hand. And also, not to say that the medical system here is great whatsoever, because it's not, and I have firsthand experience with that. But in that sort of situation, it is better, and that's a huge thing, because, you know, anything can happen at any point in anybody's life. And if you don't have the right kind of help, it's literally a matter of life or death. That was really the cherry on top. It wasn't the reason why we moved back. It was a lot of reasons why, but that was just a big one. Anyways, long answer to that question. Next, do you ever get bored at home only doing YouTube? The answer to that is absolutely no. I don't understand how people get bored. Okay, I'm trying to look for this brush for the past like hour and I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Tiny little brush. I'm gonna go in with this mustard color and go into my lower lash line with that. But like I was saying, I don't understand how people get bored at home. I mean, I guess I do, because if you do nothing. But I have so much fun at home. I have so many hobbies and work, just responsibilities around the house and things that I have to do. I don't have time to get bored. I am always doing something, and if I am even the slightest bit bored, I just pick up a hobby or draw or something like that, and boom, I'm not bored anymore. And I've kind of like made a routine between, you know, work, hobbies, working out, to where I honestly feel like most of the time I don't have enough time in my day to get the things that I want to get done, let alone have time to get bored. So yeah, no, I do not get bored. Who cooks, you or your husband? I cook most of the time, although I'm not fond of cooking very much. And also I'm in like a gym era, so most of the things that I cook are healthy and boring things. Like I'm over here cooking ground beef and sweet potatoes and things like that. They're just like boring, nothing really special, but it's just my diet. And so whatever I eat, my husband eats. But honestly, we also just eat out a lot, which is not great, but it's the truth. Do you want kids? Yes, I want kids. We talk about this often with my husband, but there's just a lot of things that we have to do, especially now, and especially with what happened with the whole move. It kind of essentially made us like restart our lives. So we are back in the States, and we're currently living with my family and saving up for a house, which will hopefully happen this year sometime. And so that's kind of our goal at the moment. And obviously I would like all of that to be in line and happen before I think about having kids. Also, I've been getting comments in my last few video. There was a few comments that were like, you're pregnant. Oh my gosh, she's glowing. I think she's pregnant. I'm not pregnant. When I am pregnant, I will let you guys know. But yeah, I'm not pregnant. I'm like, are you guys trying to call me fat? I'm going with this Tarte Hotel Heiress bronzer and the Patrick Ta bronzing brush. This makeup is probably turning out so horribly. I can't see what I'm doing. There's like a huge glare. I have a tiny little mirror that I'm working with, so this is not going to be great. I just know that. For blush, at the moment, I've been loving this blush from Tower 28. It's in the shade Beach Please, and this is pretty much a very similar blush in tone to the Rhode Toasted Teddy, which I also have and I also love. But I sometimes kind of just love this because I can just dip my finger in and just put it on. Oh, I think I put way too much. Hold on. That's kind of okay with this blush because it blends out really well. And I always like to take my blush a little bit on my nose to give that like sunburnt look. In what language do you speak with your parents and your husband? With my parents, I speak Albanian. I've always spoke Albanian, although nowadays it's like a mix. It's like Albanian English hybrid. That's how I even like text. It's like a mix of Albanian and English. But with my husband, we mainly just speak English, other than if we're gonna talk shit and we're out in public, then we switch over to Albanian. How many languages do you speak? I speak 2 languages fluently, Albanian and English. Obviously, I can read and write and speak in both. And then when it comes to Greek, it's one of those things where when people are talking, I almost fully understand what they're talking about. I'm gonna go in with this Chanel. It's like a balm stick and it's the prettiest highlight ever. It's super natural. With Greek, I can understand when people talk. I actually started learning how to read, and Greek is really hard because their alphabet is completely and entirely different. Look at that glow, by the way. This highlighter is insane. It's just like a balm. There's no glitter or anything. It's just like a reflect. Greek is one of those languages I can't speak it, and I'm too nervous to speak it, obviously, because I feel like I will sound dumb. But it would be, I would say, the next language that I know the most. And then I took Spanish when I was in high school. I mean, I can understand a little bit of Spanish. I'm not like completely out of it, but it's definitely, I'm not fluent in any way, shape, or form. So really just only 2 languages that I'm entirely fluent in. What is your favorite TV show? Outlander, like I just said. I'm obsessed with Outlander. I love any like old-timey, vintagey kind of show. And in Outlander, basically, this girl travels back in time 200 years in Scotland, and she meets the love of her life, and it's such a gorgeous story. The way it's written, the characters, everything. It's the best show ever in my opinion, so I recommend everybody watch Outlander. I'm still on season 4 right now, and I don't want it to end because it's so good. And if you're just starting it, season 1 is such a beautiful season, so if you're starting it, you're gonna be hooked. Another show I really love, I love more like niche shows, like shows that not everybody is onto. I don't always love the super popular stuff, but Bates Motel is another one that's super underrated. It's an older show and it's ended like years and years ago, but it's such a comfort show even though it's very dark and kind of disturbing. I'm going in with MAC Plum. Your rising sign. I always get this mixed, but I think my rising sign is Gemini, my moon is Sagittarius, and my sun is Aries. So I'm like moon and sun, double fire, and then I have Gemini thrown in there. I don't know everything there is to know about zodiac signs and things like that, but I am really interested in it, and I do believe it. Over the MAC Plum, I'm gonna actually go in with the blush that I used and kind of just tap that in there. I tend to like more of like a diffused lip look than like really structured. Just kind of like messy and almost like you just got kissed. I think that that's it for the makeup look. Is it one of my favorites? No, it didn't really turn out amazing. But this is kind of sort of the makeup products I use. I switch things up like eyeshadow and whatnot every once in a while. Oh, I forgot to top off my blush. My RMS in Hanky Panky. It's kind of a scary looking blush. It looks really intense, but if you kind of diffuse it, it's really pretty. I don't go crazy on that just because, like I said, it's pretty intense looking. And I know my blush is looking a little crazy right now, but blush is the first thing to leave your face, so I always like to do a little bit more, and then throughout the day it really just kind of starts to disappear. And then what I've been doing recently, which I never used to do, is freckles. So I'm using this Baby Go freckle. I think you get it on TikTok Shop, but I got it on Amazon. And I also use this to enhance my moles, which I have a lot of. I got a comment which was crazy. I know this was a while ago, but somebody was literally like, so when are you gonna get that mole removed? I was like, oh wow. I've never really cared about my moles. I feel like not a lot of people like moles. I find them so beautiful and they're so unique. If I see people with moles, I'm like, they just stand out. They make you stand out. They're so unique to your face. If I were to get my mole removed, I feel like it wouldn't be my face anymore. And so many people in my family have a lot of moles. I see my family when I see my moles, and that's such a beautiful thing. My dad has a lot of moles as well, and I would never get my moles removed. Obviously, if there was like something wrong with them, God forbid, but just like for the heck of it, just because I didn't like them, no, I would never get them removed for that reason. But that was a crazy comment. People are real comfortable just saying anything on this app because you're just protected by your little keyboard, aren't you? So yeah, there's some keyboard warriors out there that think that they're, you know, big and tough and can say whatever they want. And it's funny because sometimes you'll reply to these people and you'll give them the same energy that they're giving you, and then they'll be like, oh wow, you're so rude. I'm rude? Really? That is officially the finished look. Not in love with it. There was a lot of things that didn't go right because I'm doing this all on camera, but I always go for some look of this version. Just kind of earth tones, more so working with my features than doing anything crazy. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want more videos like this, let me know and I can definitely do more of them, and we will see based off of how this video does if you guys like it. So yeah, that is it for me today. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and turn post notifications on, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.